There's weeds and then there's weeds and then there's this weed, the wild onion. Oh my, they grow everywhere, they come back, and they're hardy little pests. They nest themselves down into your dirt and they'll keep appearing season after season unless you yank them out by the bulb. And up to this point, you've probably been throwing them straight in the trash. What if I told you you could eat these things? Let's go ahead and break this down, how we can make some delicious onion soup out of the world's biggest pest. All right, let's go ahead and try yanking this thing out. And this is a really nice, thick, hardy one too, so I imagine it won't take a lot of effort, but let's see what happens. I tried to, ooh, this sucker's nice and deep. Yeah. Holy cow, that sucker was super deep. And look at the size of those things too. Yep, these suckers can be eaten, and that's exactly what I intend to do with them. So we're going to go ahead and add this to the collection, and I think we can probably get about, I'm going to say about a good ½ pound out of my yard alone of these natural onions, and we'll go ahead and clean them up and cook them up. Okay, so over the course of the week I've been collecting a huge stack of onions, and what I'm doing is I'm using a pair of scissors to go ahead and just click the bulbs off. Now it is actually possible to, say, use the stems for cooking purposes. You can actually chop them up and use them like a chive. I'm not going to be doing that this time around. I'm going to actually be making an onion soup. So I'm taking all the bulbs and I'm just chopping them off, and so once I get the bulbs separated from the actual leaf, I'm going to go ahead and then cut free the roots from the individual bulbs. So I'll just take a second with my scissors, we'll chop that off, and then we're ready for the next phase. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is take my cut onions. I haven't removed the roots from them yet. I'm just going to go ahead and drop them in a strainer. And I had done an initial rinse on my onions, but what I'm going to do now is just going to go ahead and wash the remaining dirt off. So get them a lot more cleaner than they were. And then after we do that, we'll go ahead and start cutting off the roots. Okay, so next step is I went ahead and I rinsed the onions off one more time. And so now I've got my nice little collection. I've got a frying pan. I'm going to bring it up to a medium heat. I'm taking olive oil. Just going to sprinkle a little bit of that in there. Wait for it to heat up. And then after it heats up, we're going to go ahead and add the onions. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and add the onions. And what we're going to do is just go ahead and let these suckers brown. Next I'll add some butter, 1 teaspoon of butter. Next up we'll do a quick dash of brandy. And finally what I'm going to do is take a teaspoon, a nice heaping teaspoon of garlic, slap it on in there. Oh baby. Okay, my mixture is getting nice and brown, so what I'm going to do now is go ahead and steadily add some beef bouillon. You can measure out a cup. I'm just going to do it by eyeball right now. Feel free to add more or less to this depending on how many people you got to feed. Okay, so now what I'm going to do with this is I am just going to let this sucker simmer for a while. Give it about 15 to 20 minutes, let those onions get nice and soft, and then she'll be ready to serve. This is simmering, and I'm just going to go ahead and put a lid on it. That'll help keep the heat in and let it cook evenly. Everybody might have their own preferences to how they want to season it. I personally am going to go ahead and add a little bit of Creole seasoning mix. I just do a quick dash of it. Then I also do some black pepper. That's all she wrote. I have a sous chef. Amazing. Hey, Maggie, how about you help me make some of the bread for the French onion soup that we're about to eat? So what you're going to do is you're going to pull out the bread, put it on a plate for me. This off.
Putting it here.
Let's just make sure. Yeah, we don't want to use that one. That's an end piece.
Yeah, we don't want to use that one. Make sure you don't use the end piece.
That's right. Now put another piece on there.
Okay, I'll do that. Make sure it's a good one.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to lightly toast this. So go ahead and open up that toaster over there.
Okay. And make sure to subscribe. And make sure to subscribe to Daddy's channel.
Okay. All right, sous chef. Now what we've got to do is we've got to put some butter on the toast.
They look good.
Okay, go ahead and butter the toast for me.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, the last thing, sous chef Megan, is that we're going to go ahead and put some sharp cheddar cheese on the bread. So go ahead and do that for me.
You're big.
And try to get it on the bread. Okay, that should do it. So now we're going to go ahead and put the cheesy bread back into the oven.
Okay, we'll put it back in for about a couple minutes or so.
Yeah, just till it melts. We're not really trying to toast this up anymore. We're just trying to get the bread or the cheese to melt.
Yeah, we're just going to let the cheese melt. We're going to make it nice and good.
So now that we have our cheesy bread done, what we're going to do is we're going to pull this out and then we're going to slice it into pieces. So we're going to get a knife and we're going to cut it up. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it in our soup bowls. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start slicing this off into chunks.
Man, that's cheesy.
It's very cheesy.
Make sure you be careful when you're cutting.
Yeah, so next what we're going to do is we're going to take these slices that we've made, nice and cheesy bread, and we're going to start putting it into our serving dishes. In this case, I'm using coffee cups.
For some reason?
Well, we're using coffee cups because we're not going to do full bowls. So you can either get a cup of soup or a bowl of soup. This time I'm just choosing a cup.
Okay, that's a good idea.
So we take these off and we slice them up and we just slap them in like this. And so the last thing we're going to do is we're going to pour our soup. So follow me. This one looks a little bit big. I probably could have cut it smaller. I'll just do this. And we're going to pour this in here.
Man, look at that steam.
And so, you know what? I think I'm going to, because this is such a small container, I'm worried about spilling it. I think I'm going to use a ladle. All right, you watching this?
Yep, I'm watching it.
All right. Pouring our onion soup into our containers. Okay, so now we have our 2 cups, and the last thing we're going to do is sprinkle on some cheese on the top.